What's going on, guys? So it's late, I'm cleaning my cars, and it hit me, just grabbed the camera and figured this out. So you guys have been asking for my story. Where do I come from? Where's my background? So I'm gonna give it to you. But there's two things I want you to really know. Number one, this is not how to go out and become wealthy. This is not how you're gonna become a millionaire. There's a lot of stuff along my journey that's gonna talk about what I had to do, sacrifices, adversity, loss, a whole bunch of stuff that I had to deal with on my own playing field that got me to where I am today. But at the end of the day, you also need to realize it's my life, it's my story, and I condensed it as much as possible, but it's not a short video. Don't expect it to be short. If you want a short video, go find another channel. I'm not here to bullshit you guys. I'm here to be me. I'm here to be real. I'm here to give you what you want to see. You asked for my story, so here it is. Hey guys, my name is Chris Collins. Welcome to my garage and welcome to this YouTube channel. I need to set the record straight immediately though. My goal here is not to be your guru. My goal is not to sell you some stupid coaching package. My goal is not to brag about the things that I have, because 3 years ago I didn't have shit. My goal here is to basically help you understand that you can do amazing things as long as you believe in yourself. I'm not perfect. This channel's not going to be perfect. My mouth is not going to be perfect. These videos are not going to be perfect. But in order for me to show you that you can turn your life a little bit in a positive direction, you need to first understand where I came from. So, welcome to my life. So right about now, I'm guessing you guys are wondering, why am I showing you fancy cars? Why am I showing you fancy houses? Why am I showing you this right after I just told you I'm not here to brag about things? Let me tell you why I'm doing this. Society, unfortunately, has taught us somewhere along the line that we are who we are based solely off of what we drive, where we live, what our bank account says, or how much money we make every year. And I'm here to tell you that that's absolute garbage. You are who you are based on the impact that you leave behind when you're done. For those of you that think that my money came from my daddy, I'm sorry to disappoint. When I was 2 years old, my father killed himself. And, I don't seek pity. I don't play the victim. I believe that we are dealt the hand that we're dealt for a reason. After my father took his life, being a child in the state of Utah in the 80s and even into early 90s was very difficult. As a child, you don't understand certain things like religion. It was difficult for me to understand why my friends, I wasn't allowed to go and play at their house. And I wasn't allowed to play at their house because I wasn't Mormon. I didn't understand what that meant at the time. Apparently my mom did, and so she moved us to Boston, Massachusetts. When I was 16, my grandmother came down with a very rare form of cancer, and about 6 months later, she was gone. I think it took our entire family by surprise. It took me through a world of darkness and depression that I didn't even know how to deal with. I struggled through life very quickly. I shut down. I became an alcoholic, yes, at the age of 16 and a half. I barely made it through high school. The only reason I did is because I knew that she would be incredibly disappointed if I didn't. And from that moment on, rather than continuing in a downward spiral, I decided to join the Air Force. When I got out of the military, I had a plan. I feel like we all have a plan at some point in our life. When I got to the state that I was going to open my shop in, I found out that someone somehow managed to rack up 27 felony accounts. Guys, I'm talking distribution, I'm talking grand theft auto, I'm talking terrible, terrible crimes in my social security number, which hindered me and knocked me right back on my ass. You know, after I got over being an alcoholic yet again from this guy ruining my life, I didn't care what I had to go through to change my life and make it better. I got in the car, I packed up what I could, I put my brother in the other car, packed up with his car what we could, and we literally hit the road on a 43-hour straight shot from Boston, Massachusetts back to Salt Lake City, where at least we had little pieces of family if we possibly needed it. Kind of give you an idea of where I started from. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't even like having a camera around here, to be honest with you, but this right here is the house that I lived in. When I first got here, I don't think, guys, that people have to stay where they start. I think that we all have a choice, and it didn't take very long for me living in that house and in this neighborhood to realize I didn't want to be there anymore. And I hope that you guys understand that you have the same choice every day, no matter what. Doesn't matter what the situation is. If you don't like your life, you can change it. If you don't like your house, you can move. You can find a way to make it happen, but it's only going to happen if you actually take it serious and apply a lot of effort. So what does it take to be successful? It takes understanding that you deserve it. I can tell you right now that you deserve it. I can tell you right now, get up off the couch, turn off the TV, turn off this video, go out and find something you're passionate about. Just go do it, and if you fall down, get up. If you get up, you can move forward. If you quit, you're stuck. There's nothing wrong with being comfortable in life. There's nothing wrong with being mediocre in life. You're just not allowed to bitch about it. The moment you complain about where your life is, you need to wake up and realize that your life is where it is, because those are the choices that you make every day. The friends that you have, you listen to their opinions every day. And if your friends don't have what you want, if your friends don't drive what you want to drive, if they're not paying your bills, if they're not building your future, why are you listening to your friends in the first place? Go out and get what's yours. It starts with you. Just drove by a taco time that I remember I would fish through clothes and couch cushions. I used to call it treasure hunting for change, literally loose change. I'd go through Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my life. Part 1, obviously a little bit negative, kind of down. I apologize for that, but it's important that you understand that there's some negative stuff in life happens. It happens to all of us. We all go through sad, defining moments, if you will. But it's important that they can only be a defining moment if you learn from them and you understand that you have to make a proactive decision. You have to realize that that's not where your life stops. That's not where you get stuck. It's not where you get comfortable. You get to go where you want to go, and those destinations come from choices that you make. So please understand that, even though there is a little sadness behind some of this story, there's also a lot of happiness. There's a lot of appreciation, a lot of hard work and commitment. And that's what we obviously want to get into your life. So again, there's no coaching package or nonsense garbage coming from the end of this. And to those of you guys that are selling coaching packages and books and all that, that's fine. Like, go make your money. But that's not what I'm here for, all right? Help is free, in my opinion. If you want to work, that's also free. But that's a choice. Hard work is a choice, and it comes every single day. And so if you're willing to do that, then the things that I show you, the things that I teach you, those will help you. But you cannot go out there expecting that life is going to be free. And so is success. The choice is up to you. So anyway, welcome back to part 2. I needed to do something, and I didn't care what it was. It hit rock bottom, and I ended up getting a job with a family friend. I became an executive lease advisor, if you can believe that. Hi. I used to live here like years and years and years ago, and I was gonna videotape where I used to live, but I didn't want you to think I was being really creepy. So, are you okay with that? Yeah. I'll maybe do that side so I don't get you guys.
Okay, well we're almost done, and then you can do the purple side too.
Perfect. Okay. So we got the picture, which is always a plus. This is the second house in all of its fame and glory. It's obviously not a very huge house in any aspect. I want to say it was like 635 square feet. Let's see if I can give you a little rolling shot here. This was it. That was my little teeny tiny house. It's hard. It's difficult to put into words. Seeing this. I was born on a little tiny farmhouse, basically. All of this, it's all houses now. It's Ivory Homes. They've completely torn it down. They've gutted everything. They've just, I'm all for people having a home to live in, but it's just sad for me. When I moved to Boston to open up a tattoo shop on the beach, I was incredibly excited. I had sold everything that I had in my life. I was 100% committed to being successful. I knew what I wanted to do. I was passionate about it. I had all the key factors in place to, be wealthy, right? Everybody says you just need to be passionate. You just need to be doing something that you love, and you need to be willing to work really hard and put everything into it. And what I found out was sometimes it doesn't matter how passionate you are and how excited you are in life. I was getting robbed from my employees. I wasn't making ends meet. I had unexpected bills. I knew nothing about owning a business, and I failed miserably. I couldn't afford any of my rent. I couldn't afford any of my utilities, and I had to basically tuck tail and run and hide in bankruptcy because my dreams just completely blew up in my face. So I decided to head to Nashville, Tennessee. After I left Boston and ended up in Nashville, the girl that I had moved there with to supposedly start this new life, she got homesick, and 2 days later she moved back to Boston to be with her family, and I was left in Nashville with $47 and no car and hopefully a job. So I walked down the street to a local tattoo shop and quite literally begged for a job so that I would be able to at least pay my rent and start life fresh. Nashville was a pretty incredible place. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about my industry. My passion had soared. I found a great company to work with while I was out there. But again, that dream of just being my own boss just kept resonating in the back of my mind. And so I decided to just make another impulsive decision, move back home to Salt Lake City, Utah, and start building my own business. So here we are, part 3, I believe the final chapter to this story. It's the most exciting because it's where everything happened. It's where life completely shifted. It's where I went from being broke and having absolutely nothing to being a millionaire and having absolutely everything. But it's also the defining moment through all the struggles that I've been through in life, through all of the hardships, all of the loss, and all of the failures. There was still one more challenge, one final sacrifice, if you will, that tested me to my absolute core. In August of 2013, I found out that I was going to be a daddy, and I don't care how prepared you are for that. When you find out that it's real, I feel like your entire life more or less flashes in front of your eyes. And as you guys have seen, my entire life up to this point, not exactly the coolest. And so it forced me to grow up. It forced me to realize that if my daughter was going to have a life that was different than what I had as a child, I needed to get to work, and I needed to get to work fast. So I dove in. I worked harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. I reinvested all the money that I was making quickly into plane tickets. I started traveling all over the country to help other people who were just as passionate as I was go out and live a life that they deserved. And when you make a decision like that, when you make a mental choice to go all in on something, you absolutely are committing everything. That means 100% of what you're doing is applied towards your goal. And my goal was to be ready when my daughter came around. Now, here's the downside to giving 100%. Obviously, when you start working that hard and not showing any real true time to your significant other, it doesn't exactly go over well. It leads to arguing, it leads to fighting, it leads to sleeping in opposite rooms. I mean, guys, I'm not telling you things you haven't already experienced on your own, but at least in my eyes, there was a future, there was a goal, there was a mission. It wasn't just over nonsense. And honestly, most fights come from money in the first place. Most stress comes from financial stress. And I wasn't about that life. I wasn't even trying to go there. And I knew having a baby was going to be 10 times more stressful. So 100% to me justified every single bit of working this hard. But the downside is after 7 months of fighting with pregnancy and hormones and me being on a mission to be ready, and I wasn't ready, and I was stressed, and I was working hard. Fighting leads to destruction. I also knew that I was hanging out with more passionate people. I was hanging out with more successful people. I was hanging out with people that were motivated. They were ambitious. They were driven to do something with their life. And that became just a part of me. It didn't matter what they were going towards. It mattered that they had something to go towards. And I feel like as a person, I grew. And I feel like I outgrew the relationship that I was in. And I feel like I outgrew a lot of the friends that I was associating with. And for the first time in my life, I could actually see success. It took me 13 days to earn an auto bonus. I got myself a BMW. I was excited. I was making money. I was traveling. I was helping other people change their lives. I got featured in Success from Home magazine. It was absolutely incredible, but there's a funny thing about success. I feel that finding success in the world is kind of like going through a year of school. You grow and you develop, you learn a lot about friends, you're going to gain some friends, you're going to lose some friends along the way. School is hard. It requires work. You have to get up, you have to show up, you have to put forward an effort. And at the end of the day, right when you think you're ready to graduate, there's always one final test. To me, that one final test came in May of 2014, after my daughter was born. I'm talking a month after she was born. Her mother gave me an ultimatum. Chris, you're either going to do this business or you're going to stop and you're going to be a family man. And I knew right then and there already what I had chosen. I made a decision from the very beginning that I would do whatever it took to build my daughter's future. I would do whatever it took. I would sacrifice anything I needed to get to a life where I never missed one opportunity to watch my daughter grow. And when she gave me that ultimatum, knowing full well that she was going to keep my daughter from me out of sheer spite, I turned around and I walked away. Now, there are going to be those who criticize my actions, that frown upon my decision. There are going to be parents who say, how dare you? How dare you walk away from family? Shame on you for abandoning your daughter. And I'm going to turn around and say, how does it feel when you drop your children off at daycare? How does it feel when your children wait all day long to see you and play with you and love you, and you tell them, hold on a little bit, honey, let mommy sit down and relax. Let daddy relax and unwind for a little bit. How does it feel when the nanny or the babysitter is called mommy or daddy because you're never around? Don't judge people based on the sacrifices they're willing to make. And I can tell you right now, sacrificing time with your family is what it takes so that you never again have to sacrifice any time with anyone, including your family. There is a moment in time where you have to believe in yourself and you have to support yourself when everyone else in the world is not willing to support you or stand by your side because it's scary and they're afraid of being judged. Guess what? That's exactly what happened. I was judged, I was put down, I was thrown to the side, I was stereotyped, I was made fun of, rumors started flying, all sorts of craziness that people do instinctually. And now, I sit here, spend every single day with my daughter. I watch her grow, I teach her all day long. We watch movies at 1 o'clock in the afternoon while everyone else is out trying to figure out their life, trying to figure out what it takes to be successful because they're not willing to make those hard, difficult decisions. They're not willing to sacrifice what needs to be done temporarily to get where they know they deserve to be. All right, guys, so we're pulling onto the street that I used to live on here. I will always love that home because obviously that was the home where I found out that we were going to have my daughter, and ultimately my entire life changed. You know, if it wasn't for me finding out that I was going to have my daughter, I probably still would be a lazy, you know, procrastinating, just sitting around drinking beer, waiting for some kind of magical lucky moment. And I'll be honest with you guys, life and success sure as hell does not come from luck or magical moments or timing or anything along those lines. There's really no such thing. Success comes from realizing that you deserve it first and foremost, and then having a purpose, a real true reason why you feel you need to be successful. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know that my success would lead to me becoming a millionaire. I knew that I needed clothes and diapers and a crib to be ready for my daughter when she was born, and that was my motivator. That was my only motivator, was just be prepared to be a parent, or at least as prepared as I possibly could have been. And you know, I maybe I worked a little too hard. I don't know. You know, it's up for debate in everybody's opinion, obviously. But you know, what we've been able to build together, you know, my daughter and I, our life and our future, and it's just it's hard to put into words, you know, where we're at now versus where we were in the home that you just saw. And honestly, that was literally, it was a little over 2 years ago is all. So much has changed drastically. So much has changed that I just, you know, I wanted to show you guys where it all started. I wanted to show you where I was when I got involved with the company that I am today, where it's taken me, and I wanted to show you guys because a lot of people think that, you know, I have daddy's money. They think that I have, you know, my parents gave it all to me, or they think that I won the lottery or some stupid nonsense. You know, it's very easy to judge somebody with money, but I wanted to show you where I lived. I wanted to show you where I came from. I wanted to show you that it's possible for you guys. Doesn't matter what your current situation or circumstances are. All it comes down to is a choice. If you don't like the current situation that you're in, or the circumstances, or the, you know, the lifestyle that you're in right now, if you don't like your bank account or whatever it is, like, you have to make different proactive choices that are not even close to what the choices are you're making today. And if you're willing to do that, it's going to be unfamiliar and it's going to be scary to you because you've never done stuff like this before. Obviously, if you do the same things, you're going to get the same results. And so I guess my hope is for anybody that's listening or that cares to build their future, you have to realize you're going to have to go into the unknown. You're going to have to go into a world that is scary. But know that it's possible. You know, focus on your dreams, and definitely don't focus on the negative opinions of others, because God, if I did that, I sure as hell wouldn't be in this car, and the life that I have today would not even be remotely close to possible. So don't limit yourselves, guys. You have to believe in what you want to do and go after it.